Hi, so today, Krav Maga Martial Arts Friends and Tribe, I wanted to do a quick video talking to you about some things I was talking about coffee time with my wife this morning. I truly value those times because a lot of the things that I end up writing about and talking about on my blogs and podcasts and lessons and stuff actually come from meditations created in our morning coffee time, where we're just kind of talking about either something we've seen in life or sometimes even like today, a few of them come from things we watched on TV, even though we don't watch that much TV. But it's just, you can learn lessons from every place. So actually the four that I'm going to share today, I'm going to give it kind of a really short version on this video of the four ideas. And then I'm going to write extensively about each of these. And they'll go out over the next couple of weeks in my writing time. But the first is about friends in low places. It's going to be the title of the blog and email, and so you got a spoiler alert there. But it's because the question is going to be, what do Kurt Werner and Garthe Brooks and me and you and almost everybody all have in common? And we're going to talk about some of those different things. And the significance is that what we find out when we look at the biographies, the great American success stories of people like Kurt Werner, and by the way, the movie that prompted it. So last night we were sitting around and we watched American Underdog, is the story of Kurt Werner. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. And then afterwards we were just looking, okay, what are we going to watch for just a little bit longer, because then we're going to bed because we got a big week. And we happened to find on Netflix what is basically the biography of Garthe Brooks. And what struck and resonated that we were talking about coffee this morning is how both of them came from humble beginnings. Both of them had big dreams, knew what they wanted to do early on. And both of them fell again and again and had to overcome those realities. And, I certainly know that is a part of my story too. The only I might not be, I'm obviously not as successful as either one of them yet, but certainly the way more successful than where I came from. And certainly it wasn't easy for me either. And I suspect the same is true for you, and you're somewhere in the law of the process on that thing. And I think the most important part of the writing, as it reveals itself as I do so later in the week, is that, those that eventually do succeed, it's because they failed again and again and again, and they try again and again and again. It's about the perseverance. It's about the constant, never-ending improvement. It's about the law of the process. This thing is nothing new for the tribe, because we talk about these things all the time. But I think what is new is the realization that most successful people did it the same way, came from the same place, had to overcome, not the same, but similar challenges. The second one that we're going to talk about later is because it really started with something where we were talking about how it's interesting that there's, as in so many things, there's so many extremes. So we were talking about how rather we were talking martial arts. In this case, this morning, we were actually talking about career professional stuff. And the point of the story is that sometimes the newbie, the person that really is kind of a rookie, thinks that they have it down faster than they really do. And then on the other extreme, I told my wife, I said, I never feel like I have anything down. I feel like I have to continually be sharpening that sword, applying the principle of constant, never-ending improvement, what we call kanai in the dojo, my martial arts academy. That's a constant and never-ending process. And then so she said some things, and then she spoke about how I'm trying to figure out how much of the whole conversation I want to share. So there's an individual who we had recently heard a story where the individual said that her boss told her, you still have a lot to learn. And unfortunately, that bothered her. And I get that. I understand that somebody can think of that comment in the wrong way. For me, again, I always think I still have a lot to learn, so it would not offend me. And Barbara was able to relate a related thing with this, which was that, you know, on the one hand, it's good to have, like I do, the I'm never quite good enough thing so that you keep growing. She said, on the other hand, she said, you know, too many people may use the fact that, may go to the other extreme, which would be analysis paralysis based on the fact thinking they're never good enough. You know, and you do have to get started. You have to take, so I'm going to end up finding and writing somehow on the balance of the fact that you have to be moving, you have to be constantly, perpetually working and trying, and then using Perry, another one of our principles: plan, act, review, improve, you know, to continually get better. But that's not an excuse. Like, you don't have to be all trained up first. Okay, that's deeper than I'm going into that right now. Number 3 is this is going to be a cool one. This is about the parenting differences over the years. And, you know, like, look, in my personal life, and that's all I'm going to allude to right now, I know that I still am maybe a harder man than most, and a little more, you know, direct and aggressive and whatever than some. But I know that I'm also a lot more cognizant of making sure that my children get the side of parenting, of fathering, that is, I love you, I believe in you, you're worthy, right? But then the balance being also still instilling the kind of toughness that honestly has made, and I'm sorry, I don't mean this in a chauvinistic way, because the same could be true of a woman, but right now I'm talking about myself and my boys, right? So that has made men for generations. The interesting thing that came out this morning was that, you know, my father was way harder than me. The pendulum was way far to the, you know, you may hate me for it, but you're gonna be tough and know how to do things, right? And I made the comment, but, you know, his father was way harder on him. And, you know, and so there's this progression, right? Like, where we, as it should be in every way, every generation should be try to do better than the one before. But we have to be so cautious of the pendulum swing. And then this interesting thought happened, because we just finished that series 1883. And I said, think about this though, you know, about like my father being tougher than me and his father being tougher than him. And when I say tougher now, I don't mean your ability to fight or something. I mean gruffer. Think about the fact that, you know, when you get to my father's father, he wasn't that far removed from 1883. And if you watch that show, you know what those people went through. Yeah, you'd be a little different, right? Like we think that we have some things hard now that of course they couldn't have imagined the lap of luxury in which we now live. And and then the other one, I kind of skipped over this one that I'm going to write about, because this is good too, is the idea of negativity, on the fact that number one, I believe we, as always in so many things, there's 2 types, right? There's the negativity towards others, and there's the negativity towards self. But you know, very often there was another individual we were contemplating upon, who you know, we love very much and everything, but you know, that there's more than one kind of negativity, right? Like, people think of negativity as though you're talking the hateful kind of negativity, and certainly that's one kind of negativity. But I'm going to write about to others and to ourselves, especially, that another kind of negativity is simply, you know, I wrote down when we're, you know, towards our outcomes, when you're expecting the worst instead of expecting the best, or towards, you know, our focusing on what we have not instead of what we do, because these are important things. And you know, overcoming that kind of negativity in your life, from others, but especially from yourself, is absolutely essential towards success in life and in anything that we ever want to do. And man, speaking of which, I am back to work. It's been a positive, productive morning already, and I got so much more to do before that final class tonight. So if you happen to be a member of the tribe that's coming in, I'll see you tonight. If not, have a great spring break. I know that every time I say stuff like that, I make my videos less evergreen, but that's okay. I want you to know I'm talking to you in addition to just sharing some thoughts this Monday morning, which has become a new custom of mine. Appreciate you. Make it a great week.